What a beautiful vista. Welcome, folks. Welcome back to Space Engineers 2. We're going to play a little bit more of this. I've been doing contracts, and I got the other planet unlocked, Chemic. And I fast traveled over to the station and came back. But in this video, I wanted to try to build a little base. So I'm starting here. We're getting low on battery power. And the low health is because I crashed my ship on purpose. I bailed out. I hit X to turn the jetpack on, but I don't know if it's because I wasn't boosting. Anyway, I didn't have enough speed to totally slow down. And I smacked into the ground. So, yeah. One thing I did discover, checking out this Steam discussions on some workarounds for some problems I had with contracts, there's a lot of problems. It's an alpha. Is you can actually make GPS markers, which is nice. I hadn't even noticed there's a tab here. The UI needs some love, but yeah, you can add a GPS marker, and then there you go. I don't know if you can delete it. You can add a new marker. If I push delete, does it delete? Oh, it does. Okay, so you just push delete on your keyboard. Got it. So I put a marker here just so if I get exploring around, looking for ore, I can easily find my way back. But one thing I did want to check real quick is if the components stay here. So when my ship crashed, it made a nice little crater in the ground. And then the inventory fell out. So let me run over here real quick. I don't want to use too much of my battery power just yet. We're going to need that probably to look for resources. Somewhere over here there's a crater. Unless it doesn't save the crater. Does the crater not save? Alright, we're going to use the jetpack a little bit. I crashed my ship right over here. Woo! And then I saved it. I don't actually see the crater. That's interesting. I wanted to check and see if the components were still there, because I didn't want to use them. I wanted to start from scratch. It kind of looks like the crater in the ground didn't save. So that's interesting. Might have to do some experiments with that. So if I voxel edit by my base, does it come back? Anywho, let's see what we got over here. We're going to need some iron and whatnot. We got some silicon over here. There's some iron over here by my base location. So my battery is going down. And you can't like open your helmet and breathe as far as I know, like you could in the original. So we're going to need a survival kit and a solar panel and then a battery. So that's kind of the gateway drug to our base. Oh, we found some more silicon. And I saw a lot of comments on the Steam discussions, people flipping out about how easy it is and stuff. I mean, they clearly said in the release notes. Please read release notes, people. This is intentionally easy because it's a vertical slice. It's just the start of survival. This is not how it's going to be forever. It's going to be okay. So, like, we can build a survival kit with, I think, iron and maybe some silicon. You don't need silver and all this stuff. So, it's going to be different. This is just a vertical slice. So let's do the old crouch dig. And get down to where this iron is. I think it's probably underground. Something cool I noticed, you can push L for your light. It has an auto setting. See how the A shows up there on my little light thing? Yeah, I thought that was cool. So it'll turn off when it gets bright enough. Do I have enough drill power to get this iron? This is pretty deep. I might have to find something that's not quite so deep. Because I am chewing through. Another cool thing is see how we're digging dirt? We're digging stone. It's different sounds. So that's pretty neat. It's even harder to get through the stone. So if I just dig normally, I don't get anything, because stone's not a thing as far as a resource. Yeah, I'm already down to 70%. I think I'm going to have to find some iron that's closer to the surface. Now, I don't want to use my jetpack a ton, because that uses battery power. And if you use boost, shift with your jetpack, then that's what uses your hydrogen. Yeah, I should have dug over here. I think this is a lot closer. Is all the stuff underground? That's the question. Tell you what, I'm going to run around. I'm going to try to gather up some resources, and then we'll get to building on the base. Here we go. It didn't take too long. I went in on the other hillside. It was a lot closer in here, so... Got up some iron. Already got a couple tons of it. We're going to need a lot of iron, though, so... Let's do that, and then... If I can find my way back out of here. I'm guessing we're probably going to need some silicon as well. Let's see what we need to build the survival kit for sure. And what's neat is you can just place down the blocks. You don't need the materials themselves to do the blocks. Now I want to say, is there a way to align it with planet gravity? That may not be a thing yet. So that's kind of a shame. What if I do new grid? Alignment. I kind of seem to do something. New grid. Let's go for it. I think that's probably aligned. We'll find out. And then something I wanted to try. I don't know. R for size. There we go. Does it take the same amount of materials to build up one of these little guys versus the big guy? So you take one steel plate, you take 30. No, okay, so it does vary with size. I wasn't sure if that was even in yet. So that is cool. How do I remove? Right click. All right, cool. So it's just like in creative. Excellent. All right, let's get a little bit of that built up. So let's build like one or two of these. We just do enough that we can do that, then we can actually stand on it. Let's go in here to our build menu and let's say survival kit. Do that, and then we're going to need a solar panel. We're going to need a battery. That will let us not die because we ran out of power. And then this guy has a, let's see, controls rotation. I gotta get used to that. That has a port on the top and bottom. And then, oh, it's got small ports on the side. All right, cool. Let's just put you right in the middle. That's fine. Back to our welder. You have to be right up close to these things. A little bit of that in, and then if I switch this to R, we're going to need silicon and nickel. Excellent. Decent amount of nickel is what we're going to need. Come on, I didn't use up all my iron already. I've got tons of iron. There we go. The welding's a little finicky sometimes. Do the old crouch walk. And then is the sun, I think the sun might be going down. So this might be this might have been a bad time to try to build one of these. So we make one of these aligned. Put this over here. Then we're going to need a whole bunch of silicon. So 500 for that. It's kind of weird. Like, I don't understand the... I think it goes from top... I'm used to it going from the bottom up. I think what you need is from the top down in this version. So we need 150... We need about 650 worth of nickel. Or sorry, no. 150 worth of nickel. A little over, say 520. 515 worth of silicon. So we need some silicon. And the sun is going down. Awesome. I don't know what else we can do for power. Let's go try to find some silicon. I don't know how long to make this. I'll cut out some of it, but I know some people want to see all the things. Fortunately, I think that is going to be super deep. I don't have the drill power to go down and find that. Oh, there we got some nickel. We're going to need a bunch of that, I think, for a battery as well. 22 is where you're at, huh? Kind of come in from the side almost, it looks like. Yeah, it's going from the side, so about 20. So a very different start from Space Engineers 1, and then this will be, you know, it'll be different as the game progresses. They add more features. Again, they said in the release, or in it's a note somewhere, that this is purposefully made easy for Vertical Slice 2. To get people in and, you know, testing. Here we go, starting to get into that nickel deposit. How much do we need? 515 of nickel? That guy keeps standing up. Okay, we went clear through the nickel. The deposits are not very big. That's why we're not building a huge base at the moment. They're not very big. Alright, that should be enough, but we're probably going to need more for the battery. Let's go ahead and grab a bit of this. And I'm hoping we can build some storage fairly easily. I didn't look to see what a crate took. So a crate takes steel plates and construction. I'm not 100% sure what that will be, but we'll find out. Alright, how do I get out of here? I'm stuck. I literally don't know which way's out. Oh, I see it. It's kind of blending in. Oh, boy, get out. Come here, little hidey hole. I can't crouch out here. Okay, we're getting a little low on power here, spaceman. There we go. Crouch out of my little hidey hole. Oh, look at that planet up here. That's cool. Some excellent visuals, that's for sure. Alright, we can run back over to our GPS marker. And I didn't realize I was starting this at sundown. That was a bad move. I don't know if we have a bed. We can just sleep through the night. See if we can at least get the survival kit. And we're going to have to concentrate on a battery instead of a solar panel because we don't have any sun right now. Okay, let's get you done. Mostly done. Alright, you need a little bit of silicon. And we still do have the iron. You need silicon. You got all your nickel in there. Oh, I was getting my numbers mixed up. That's okay. We need to get a battery anyway. So let's get a battery put down. Let's do one of these small ones, I think. Rotate that around like that. Iron, and of course it uses silicon as well. I have iron. Why are you being weird? Oh, it's because I was standing in it. Okay, we have to find some silicon, but let's see if we can get a crate down. I don't remember how much these crates hold, but let's see if we can put down a crate. You just need iron. Perfect. Did I just use all my iron? No, I've got iron. The welding, like I said, is kind of finicky. I don't know what's going on with that. Probably just doing something wrong. Okay, we'll stick you in there. No, it only holds 400 kilograms. Well, it's a little bit. It's a little bit. We need to find some silicon, and it is getting dark. Yeah, there was silicon, I think, over this way. I don't know how deep it was. Oh yeah, that was the deep silicon. I thought there was some over here by the ship as well, where I crashed the ship. Such a beautiful game. Yeah, there's some over here. Let's go see how accessible this is going to be. I don't think there's boulders with the ore like we had in SE1, but I don't know for sure. Okay, 16... 15... Down to 41% power. Beautiful. Yeah, every time he goes down, he uncrouches. Alright, we needed tons of silicon, if I remember right. They go right past the silicon? Oh, is this a tiny little patch of silicon? This could be bad. I need a lot of silicon. Yeah, I think, oh, I found, there's uranium? Oh. Okay. Didn't know we could find uranium on the planet. I thought we had to go to the other system. Apparently not. Come on. Huh. There's apparently uranium right here. I don't think I have that unlocked yet, as far as energy is what it's called. Yeah, I have, oh, I do have the reactor unlocked. But we need all kinds of stuff to be able to build one of those. And I don't have that stuff. Well, that was all of the silicon. I picked up 136. That might be enough. Do we need 30 to finish the battery? And then like 15 for the survival kit? I don't remember. I need to be better at remembering stuff. There's just random, like, thuds, I think, from just the player running around. It's kind of strange. Yeah, 20 for that, so that will get us a battery, and it comes with the power module in it, so that is nice. And we can get this done. Ta-da! And that's facing the wrong direction, isn't it? Well, in theory, I can tear this down and turn it around, no problem. So we need a number 5. And that's facing the right way? Yeah, that's facing the way I want. Let's do that right in the middle. We'll go back to photo mode because I think it switches automatically. Oh, beautiful power and healing straight from the battery. All right, we're going to make it through the night. What else we got here? We have a charge level 30%. Doesn't give us any kind of like estimate. Weird noises happening. Yeah, we need a lot more silicon to get that. This is kind of bothering me that the crate's crooked. So I'm going to turn the crate around. Also just kind of like weird noises in general happening. Get 3 of those, I think, on a square, basically. That'll give us, what, 1,200 worth of storage? Ended up with a spare construction component. Yeah, there's just like weird noises happening. I don't know what that's all about. So, cargo. I don't know why this would need cargo, I guess for gases to fill you back up. Probably, yeah, that's probably what that is for. But if we get rid of that and we say cargo, what's it take to build just the regular cargo guy? Is that lined up? I don't know that it needs to be lined up. Take to build you. Hey, we should just build one of those. I'm learning all the ins and outs of this game. Let's just build a cargo container. Okay, so you can do any hologram and right click and it goes away. Beautiful. Oh yeah, we had enough to build a cargo container. That holds 8 ton versus 400 kilograms, so that's a lot better. All right, cool. Well, it is nighttime. Can we build a bed? Comfortable place for an engineer to rest their head. Does it actually do anything? I don't know. Don't know. Let's have our bed right next to the battery. Home sweet home. I have... Oh, I don't, because I put it all in the cargo container. Do-do-do-do-do. So we need more iron and just a tiny little bit of silicon. So we're going to have to go look for silicon. I also need more iron. So let me go down to my iron. Not over here on the side of a hill somewhere. There it is. It's a little iron hidey hole. Now we don't have to worry about power so much. Let's just make this a little more accessible. At least the iron deposit is not completely tiny. Why is it so hard to find my way out of places? There it is. Because the rock all looks the same. I think I'm just going to fill up with iron. I kind of like having the no stone being a resource thing. It makes it easier to just not, you know, carry around a whole bunch of crap. You keep having to dump it out of your inventory. We'll see how it goes. Maybe that will be a thing, you know, in the longer term, but there it is. To find my hole out here. The particle effects are a little overdone. They're cool, but just a little much. We're almost home free. There we go. Alright, I'm interested to see if we can sleep through the night once we have this bed made. Also, does it recharge us? Alright, we need just a little bit of silicon for those parts. So, we do have a lot of stuff around here. I don't think they're going to be large deposits. Oh, I need to empty, right? Forgot to empty my inventory. It's actually, I'm going to delete these. There we go. Throw that in there for now. There's just weird like bongs and bangs all the time. I don't know what's going on with that. I think that's the silicon that was really deep. So let's just head over here and see what we can find. Nickel. Random explosions. Some more nickel. Some more iron. I didn't mean for this to be a nighttime episode, so I'm really hoping the bed lets us sleep through. Actually, I don't think there's a way to... I don't know if there's a way to speed up time or not. You know, actually, now that we've got power, let's just use our jetpack. We're in a nickel-rich area. Only got another silicon deposit. It's kind of on the side of a hill, and it looks like we need to go down here. So just remember, you do have to crouch every time. Hopefully that gets fixed. Also notice too, when you go to the map and come back out of the map, it automatically switches to third person. A little strange. Alright, we're into the rock. Yeah, there's that silicon. Give me the good stuff. Hopefully it's a slightly bigger deposit. Here. We know what silicon looks like. We'll just turn that off for a little bit. It's not looking like a huge silicon deposit. So we want to get every last little bit. That's the wrong button. Yeah, alright, that's all the silicon. Let me out of here! The remove mine mode seems a lot smaller than in SE1. We could barely fit out of that hole, and I was right-click mining the whole way down. Some more silicon. Some more silicon. It'd be neat if there was some kind of indication, like how large the deposit is. All right, so we know there's silicon over here. I don't know for sure which direction this is. I don't think we have a compass. We'll know if we go towards the mountain. Slightly left, there's silicon over there. So I'm being kind of conservative and not using my hydrogen boost. We may need that at some point. I don't have any hydrogen production going yet. Let's hope we can sleep through the night, because I'm tired of this being a dark video. As I'm sure you are as well. Alright, we need a couple iron plates, and we'll be good to go. Ta-da! Oh no, it's non-functional. Yeah, there's no interaction on it. Alright. Fair enough. Okay, well, I don't want this to be a 100% dark video, so I'm going to put a cut in here, and I'll figure out how to get to daylight. I don't know if that's just me waiting, or if there's some kind of debug command or something, but I'll be back when it's daylight. Well, folks, it has been a while, but the sun is finally coming up. And I think we might even be getting a little bit of power from the old solar panels. Yeah, look at that. Getting power. So we're recharging. I've been busy overnight. Been running around, getting resources, and I went ahead and built a large cargo container. These are super cheap to make. So I just went and made the big one. Got a smelter up and going. This lets us make the basic parts like that, and I think we're gonna be able to make everything we need to build this little atmospheric ship. I don't know why, but something keeps making noise over here. So I'm gonna go ahead and grind this down. I need to find gold before I can make that anyway. Oops. I missed the ability to just dump stuff in the inventory. We'll see if that'll stop the banging around that it keeps doing. Nope. Maybe it's the survival kit that does that? I'm not sure. Weird. Anyway, the bed was non-functioning, of course, so I got rid of that. Looks like it's got a whole bunch of inventory fulls queued up. At least she doesn't say it over and over again. It's like something's resetting, and I don't know why. At first I thought the battery was not actually discharging, but it did finally go below 30%. And it's actually charging now. It's going to be charged in an hour and 20 minutes, thanks to my 2 awesome solar panels. So anywho, I think this will be kind of a basic ship that will work. I do need to get a gyro on here. Don't know for sure what we need to make the gyro. I've been playing around with this. Oops, I think that popped off center. It doesn't seem to remember your orientation. So there's definitely some frustrations with the building system. But it is just an alpha. I need construction components. Those, and those. Inventory full, she says. So I got everything kind of mocked up. The only way I could get it to build was to build it off of the base. I wasn't able to like build a landing gear. I just had trouble getting that to work. There's probably a trick to it. So I'm just going to build this up and then we'll cut it loose. That is the plan. There we go. Our first part of our ship is complete. And then I think this will do it. I've got hopefully plenty of engines. Does that look like it's crooked? not sure. But we're gonna need lots of parts. So let's put in what we can. See if we can't get this thing built. Okay, we need a let's get the cockpit done. We just need 2 glass, and I've got the steel plates. So smelter, glass, just need 2 of those. It's a little fiddly because you have to bounce back and forth between inventories. I'm sure that'll all get rectified in due time. There we go. Now we have a cockpit. Hop in there and get charged up. Nice. Alright, let's hop out. And we'll keep on building. So we need a whole bunch of construction components. And electronic parts. So we need 25. Wow. Yeah, we need a lot. Alright. Let's go to construction components. I make like 50 of those. Needed about, say, 20 of those. Let that do its thing. It makes little noises when it's done. Kind of neat. That'll get the connector squared away. Then I'll build a connector on the base here eventually. Right now it's just a big one steel plate grid everywhere. Just so I had some room to kind of walk around. Alright, let's get the cargo container going. That's pretty much done. What do we need for the battery? Nothing. We got all the parts for that. So I assume that can start charging now. Yep, that's going to charge up as well. So let's put this on charge. It will just suck all the power out of the base. That would probably be bad, wouldn't it? These are basically the same size, I think. What's this battery looking like now? Yeah, that's going to get empty pretty quick. All right, we don't want to run the base completely out of power, so we'll leave both of those on auto for now. Okay, we just have a bunch of engines to build. Steel plate we're doing pretty okay on. And we probably just need to make a bunch of tubes. So 6, 10, 12. We need about 36 tubes. Those knocked out. Yeah, because I've ran out of those. I haven't quite figured out like how to build stuff. It looks like the bottom part is what you need to build the initial frame, but then it fills in kind of strangely. I haven't quite figured out how that works just yet. Yeah, we are going to need some more motors. All these steel tubes in. Should probably get a screenshot. I finally, no, still got steel plates. I guess it wants to put the motors in before it'll do the steel plates. Alright, I think we need 36 motors. So we go to motors. We're going to be short on nickel, I think. Yeah, short on nickel. That's a shame. Oh, I've already had a bunch of motors in there. So we'll just cancel those. And that one's done. I don't know how much thrust I need. So I went with 6 downward, because if we get this cargo container full of ore, I want to be able to get back to base. Now I wonder if I could stick a little solar panel up top. For just kind of a last resort. Alright. Yeah. Let's get this gyro finished. 2 construction components. I'm out of those. No problem. Oops. Someone ended up clicking on the wrong thing. Okay, we might, in theory, have a functional ship. It's a good theory. All that back in there. They're fully healed up. And I'm a wuss, so I'm going to click save. After about 7 hours of total playtime, I did finally get a crash. I know a lot of people have been reporting crashes. I've been pretty lucky. I've only had 1 crash in 7 hours so far. One thing that's not really in yet is different things taking different amounts of time to grind. So I'm still kind of getting used to that. Here we go. I think we have a ship. Scroll out a bit. We got up. We got down. We got rotation. Oh, I don't have side to side. Park. Power off. Now when I power that off, does that change the battery state to anything? No, it's still just auto. Okay. Yeah, I forgot the old side to side motion there. So we're gonna need some more thrusters. I think probably one each would probably suffice. Something like that. All right, we need steel tubes, 6 motors. I think I have motors. Yeah, the steel plates, the motors we're probably good on. We need some steel tubes. We need like 6 of those. Everything is really cheap. I imagine that's because it's, you know, vertical slice too. I would imagine these things will be a lot more expensive later on. Oh, 4 each. Not 3 each. I was thinking back when I had 1 motor already in everything. Here you. Ta-da! Okay, now we should have some side-to-side motion. Power this bad boy up. Alright, we got that way, we got side-to-side, we got forward and back. Excellent. Does that have a little bit of hydraulic bounce going on to it? Or am I crazy? Maybe it was just the ship bouncing. Alright, well this episode's getting a little long, but I would like to at least get a connector so we can charge this thing. I think what I'll do is I'll put a connector like over here, and then I may end up running a conveyor to it at some point. Well, speaking of, do we actually have... Do we have conveyor junctions? Sorters and stuff don't work yet. Okay, so we have conveyor tubes. Hydrogen tanks. Ah, yeah. Conveyor node junction. Can we do one of those with a connector? 'Cause, 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 'c So let's do that right here in front of the ship. I did build some stairs so I can get back up here. So if we do one of these now, yeah, that has the right size for a connector, I think. We'll put one of those in, and then if we do a connector, love that you can just have a unified grid. It's the best thing ever. All right, we need a bunch of steel plates and some steel tubes. Let's get some more of that stuff going. Didn't really count what we needed, so this will be wrong. I think we needed electronic parts. Oh, we do need electronic parts for the connector itself. Okay. 30, so 48 construction components and 12 electronic parts. Construction components. Let's just make like 50 of those. Hopefully we don't run out of iron. And then electronic parts. We need like 18. I already forgot what we needed. And run out of silicon. It must be what we need versus what we have. Okay. Over here, grab those. Oops. Didn't mean to grab the silicon. Okay, nice. So since this is not connected to the base anymore, we need a connector, you know, to charge. So that is the idea. So we need to turn this guy on park. It is the best little ship ever. The auto parking is handy, but it does kind of leave you in a weird spot sometimes. Alright, there we go. I need to let this thing charge. Need to turn this thing off. There we go. Need to let this thing charge, and then we can go on adventures. Current charge level. Why are you not charging? Turn you off? Does the battery not charge? Is it because it's balancing? Oh, interesting. So if I turn the ship off, it doesn't charge the battery? Is that a thing? That is apparently a thing. Okay. Well, that's too bad. Is this using power? Control panel. Does K still open the control panel? It does. Alright. It is not. They're not using power. They're just animated. Okay, cool. Got it. Alright. That is kind of the minimum viable ship there. There's not much less that we could put on there. Maybe a few less thrusters, but we'll let it charge and we will go from there. Thank you as always for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Do you want to see a little more of this? I think we could go explore, possibly find some gold, get some more of the production stuff going, but really the smelter is all you need to do the basic stuff. We shall see. I also want to work a little bit more on the base. You'll see what kind of structural components we have. Structural, there we go. We got all kinds of structural stuff. Nice. And those just take steel plates, so they are cheap. Alright, if you want to see more, let me know. Hope to see you in the next adventure. Thanks for watching.